Sag! I'm going to be doing a self-love tarot reading. These are general messages, so if they don't resonate with you this week, come back next week. Maybe I can help you then. These are self-love messages designed so Spirit can showcase areas where we might be letting ourselves down, consciously, subconsciously, or areas that we can showcase to be more authentic with ourselves. Part of self-love is self-acceptance, and it's easier to accept ourselves if we can show more of who we are, and vice versa. So we can show more of who we are if we accept more of ourselves. I do a 6-card spread. I shuffled a little bit before we started, but once more won't hurt. Okay. So Scorpio, in the first position, we have how you feel about yourself. In the second position is something you need to prioritize. Spirit wants you to notice it and focus on it. In the third position, we have an area we might consciously or subconsciously be letting ourselves down, and Spirit wants us to just pick that up a bit. In the fourth position, we have something that Spirit wants you to acknowledge and then showcase to be more authentic with yourself. In this fifth position, we have something Spirit wants you to let go of. And then 6 is something Spirit wants you to acknowledge. The 7th message is going to be from Spirit, what Spirit wants you to know. I'm going to clarify later with the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck, but I will show you them as we go. They're gorgeous cards. Okay, so we're going to get started in this first position. Sag, we have the Ace of Pentacles. You are feeling like a new beginning related to stability. It's not a pentacle. I don't think so. It looks like a sphere, like a big round sphere, like an orb, with all these vines coming out. What kind of reminds me of is the earth, with the plants growing off of it. But this is an opportunity for stability. So you feel like you're coming into this period of stability. That's really nice. That's great energy, Sagittarius. An area that Spirit wants you to prioritize more is going to be this Queen of Pentacles energy, Sag. Queen of Pentacles is all about nurturing. But I think with this card, it's going to be more self-nurturing. In the traditional tarot, the Queen of Pentacles has her pentacle, and she nurtures it. She holds on to it, and she nurtures it so well that she basically raises a kingdom around it. But in this deck, she's all by herself with this ram, and she's kind of clutching it. I think that she depends on this pentacle. So I feel like the pentacle is nurturing her, or even nourishing her out in this desert. This is all about self-nurturing to me. Spirit would like you to just prioritize more of this self-nurturing energy, Sagittarius. But it also wants you to focus on this area of strife, the 5 of Wands. Maybe there is some kind of issue or strife or argument or fight going on that you're not focusing on. Maybe you're acting like it's not there. But Spirit wants you to acknowledge it. In the third position, that's the kinds of things that we are probably putting on the back burner. Maybe there's a fight that you need to have, or a fight you know that's coming, and Spirit is saying, hey, it's time to take that off. It's done simmering. You need to bring it up to the front and start really working on it. So if there is a conflict or an argument or something, you don't have to worry, you know. The thing about arguments is I think people, what's that word? I don't want to say miscommunicate. People miscategorize conflict as like being negative. And it's not. Conflict is like a tool. Also, conflict is like pervasive. The definition of conflict is like a disagreement of goals or objectives. Like if my objective is to go to the bathroom, but you're in the bathroom, we have a conflict, whether you even know it or not. Isn't that weird? Like conflict is like everywhere. You can't get away from it. So to be worried about it is ridiculous. And then to act like it's bad is also not ridiculous, because if you have a conflict with someone over your incompatibility of goals or objectives, well, that's fair. That's super fair, right? You can say that I like things this way, and if they say, well, I like things that way, it's fine to not agree on that. You can have a conflict, and it's not negative. But like the best thing about conflict is that if I say I like something this way and you say, well, I don't like it this way, and that's a deal breaker for me, well, now I know. I don't have to waste my time acting like, you know, I can get past that sort of thing. Because I don't think I can. Someone's at my door. Anyway, in this fourth position, what Spirit's saying is like, basically if there's a conflict that you need to be having, go ahead and have that conflict. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I will. Thanks.
There we go. Anyway, well, so if there is this conflict that you need to have, just go ahead and have it. It's not negative. If it works out that like you say, okay, well, I like it this way, and they say, well, I like it this way, and you say, well, what can we do? And they say, let's compromise. Well, that also works out. But if they say there's nothing we can do, well, then you know you don't have to worry about it. So Spirit says don't worry about it, have the conflict. Spirit says what they would like you to acknowledge and showcase more of, to be authentic with yourself and how you feel, is the Devil. Oh, Sag. Oh, Sag. Okay. So, the Devil card for me always indicates a choice. Yeah, it's basically a choice. You're choosing to stay stuck. So in the original tarot, or the traditional tarot, they have the two people who are chained up to the pole where the devil is like above the pole, right? But those people, their chains around their necks, super loose. In this one, these people could totally let themselves go. They could free themselves if they would release each other, but they won't. And they just stay stuck in this pit and this awful energy. So I think what Spirit is saying to you is have this fight. Show the world, show yourself, show who's ever involved that you don't have to stay stuck in this energy. That that's not who you're going to be. Strong, powerful, capable. Sag, like, you're a fire sign, so it's not like you don't have the power to release yourself from things. If you have the passion to go after what you want, fire energy, then you definitely have the passion to free yourself from things you don't want. If you're worried about it, I think the message here is pretty clear that Spirit is saying there is this offer of stability for you. There really is this offer of like coming out of all of whatever this strife is, but like you're gonna have to nurture yourself. You're gonna have that conflict, and then you're gonna have to stand up and show the world that you can remove yourself from the devil's energy, from this net, from this pit. One of the best things about learning lessons or overcoming towers or leveling up or ascending or whatever you want to call it is that you're like a role model. You're like a role model for like spiritual ascension. But like you are kind of, right? So if the universe puts you through a test and then it rewards you, you should share that reward with people. I mean, if it's monetary, like take your friends out for dinner, or if it's like is a gift, then like share that gift with people. If it's a car, you know, share rides. The universe always wants you to showcase how it moves in your life. You could apply that to God too, right? Like God has all this power, and God doesn't want to show your power to people. No, God wants you to show God's power through you to other people. It's kind of the same concept. The universe wants you to acknowledge that you struggled. That's why you have to show all your feelings. The universe wants you to acknowledge that you struggled, that it was hard, and that you came through it, and that you did the best you could. Because that way other people who are watching you can see you and say, wow, they did it. Wow, if they did it, I can do it too. Maybe, you know, you didn't have the most supportive family and they weren't financially secure to start with, and you had to put yourself through college. And to do that, you had to have 5 jobs. And maybe because your stepmom was really mean, she took your dog to the pound, and the only way you could have your dog with you was to put your bed in the back of your van. And you weren't technically homeless, but for like a good amount of the summer, you spent, you know, roaming around in your van, just going from job to job, trying to save enough money to put yourself through college. And then you get your master's degree and you get a great job and, you know, you're amazing. But people who were in that position also can now see that somebody who went through all of that managed to succeed, and they themselves gather courage from that. We are nothing but, if not examples to other people of, you know, how to live or how not to live, how to behave or not to behave. And this devil energy tells me with this self-nurturing and this Ace of Pentacles that you can be a shining example to people of how not to stay trapped in this negative energy. Beautiful, Sagittarius. You're beautiful. Ooh. Okay. Spirit is saying what it wants to let go of right now is this Prince of Wands energy. Now, this Prince of Wands is like the knight. But you see what this knight is being pulled by? The lion. This bravery. Lions can also be pride and ego. Oof. I think Spirit is saying to you here, maybe, that there are messages of passion, maybe pride, maybe ego. I mean, if you're in this strife, if you're in this energy where like a fight is coming, and you need to get out of this situation, I could definitely see how bringing this pride and this ego and this passion might feel good in the moment. But I think that here Spirit is telling you to just kind of let go of that, honestly. You don't want your pride to rule you. If you're having this argument with somebody, you need to stay virtuous. You need to stay in accordance and adhere more strictly to your values. If you are in an argument with somebody you have had a relationship with, please be respectful to people. At some point in your life, that's the person that you wanted next to you. Always treat them as if they are someone who deserves time and love and space, because you gave them that anyway. You don't have to continue to give them your time and love and space, but they should always be treated as if they deserve time and love and space. Emotional space, right? We can always not hold ourselves, chain ourselves to what happened by allowing ourselves to believe that things can be different in the future or could be different if the situation itself was different, right? I kind of don't condone like any, you know, physical or emotional violence, but I think that a lot of people hurt people because they're hurt, not because they mean to hurt you, right? Hurt people. But healed people heal people, which is what I'm trying to do with this whole self-love thing, is help you figure out ways to help yourself. But when we use pride and when we use ego to talk to people we love, we should continue to talk to them as if we care about them. If we have people in our lives, like our bosses or our coworkers, you know, they chose a job, they didn't choose us, the same way we didn't choose them. And so when we speak to people, we should be more careful about how we talk. We don't want to lead with pride. But something the universe wants you to acknowledge, okay, acknowledge is this balance. The 2 of Pentacles. So we said you already had the Ace, but you need to acknowledge this 2. The universe wants you to know about it and accept it. Bring this, or like accept that this is in your life. Okay, so Right. So this makes total sense. The universe is saying that you have this Queen of Pentacles. You need to be more nurturing, but there is a strife and this acknowledgement that there's this devil energy you have to get out of. Don't involve your pride in this, because there's going to be balance. You're going to have to find balance between these two things. There's this argument, but you can't be prideful about it. You just have to break yourself free from this thing. Because the universe wants you to know that you're the emperor. You have the power. You can make the changes. Anything you want, Sagittarius. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and start to clarify this.